offloaded at our friendly neighborhood Menards store in Springfield, Illinois. Again, wonderful folks there. Very friendly, very nice, very quick, very professional. Cannot complain. As a driver, that's exactly what you want. Get me in, get me out. So, you think at this point, Dirk, you've already got enough cameras. You're already showing all these different angles. Well, if you thought that, you would be wrong. Yes, I am a before-mentioned camera nerd. I love cameras, technology, all that crap. I kind of inherited that from Dad. Dad was very much the same way. Anything new and electronic, he was all bedazzled by it. And I kind of always appreciated the whole photographic, video, and audio technology kind of group, sector, whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, I had, normally with the videos that I have produced, I have done that with primarily, I want to say 5 cameras. 5 cameras. So, one straight out ahead, one on the A-pillar looking at me, one over on the passenger seat, looking at me as if you're riding along from the passenger seat, and then of course the 2 cameras mounted outside the truck for the rear view shots. And one of the things that was always kind of missing in certain situations, not always, but certain situations, you know, you're rolling through, one of the perks of driving a truck is that you roll through some really incredible areas of the country. And, you know, you roll by like monuments or rivers or just something really spectacular that's like really more of a side view. So the front view center doesn't quite capture all of it. So I was hemming and hawing and trying to figure out how can I capture it. And I've tried a whole bunch of different approaches to doing that. I tried putting cameras on the side sleeper windows facing outward, and believe it or not, even with the dark tint, the GoPro's color adjustment is really, really good, shockingly good, to where the video, you can make it turn out absolutely normal looking, that it doesn't look tinted at all. The color and the white balance, you can really correct it nicely. But one of the things that I noticed in doing that, yes, you get a like completely 90-degree angle of the side view, but as the truck is in motion, that view can be very disorienting, and it's not really pleasant. So I thought, well, you know, it's accomplishing the main goal of capturing, but it's unnerving to watch it, right? Because the ground is going by so quickly, and you're looking like right out the side. It's not the greatest view. So now I have mounted the 2 cameras that I had to add to the group to get side shots, which would now make 7. Yes, I am insane. 7 cameras that I will in turn have to edit from. That's like I wasn't already buried in footage. I need 2 more, but that's all right. It's what I do. It's what I love doing. So I've added these 2 A-pillar cameras that are kind of mounted up on the A-pillar side on each side of the windshield, but they're doing a cross view, and I thought that was the most interesting. You know, you kind of capture a little bit of the hood and the mirrors, but you capture the sides better, but you do it in more of a way where you're still seeing out kind of forward, and that's less motion sicknessy than looking 90 degrees flat out to the side. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. I hope they turn out cool. It looked pretty cool when I was setting them up, but we will see. And if they turn out nicely and I like them, those will be 2 more cameras to add to the arsenal, and we'll see if it works. So we are empty now, and we are running empty to Terre Haute, Indiana, and that's 182 miles away, deadhead, and we should be there in maybe about 3 hours, somewhere between 2.5, 3 hours, and we'll check in later. So here's a little fun fact. Might be interesting, might not be, but I don't know if you have ever noticed when you're driving around in rural countryside, especially in farm agricultural areas that are flat for the most part in the Midwest, as you drive along you happen to come across ponds, and they're usually fairly small ponds that are pretty close to the highway, and if you really start paying attention, you're going to start noticing that these ponds are fairly close to where roadways cross over the highway. And I always thought it was really interesting when somebody told me about it. I had never put two and two together personally until they told me about it, and then I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So in case you've never heard it, I'm telling you. Back when they were building the highways, for an example, right now we're on Interstate 72 in Illinois. And so back in the day when they built this highway, they had to bring a whole bunch of other roadways over the highway. And most people don't pay attention, including myself, to just how many roads need to be brought over a highway. And when you bring a road over a highway, that requires a whole hell of a lot of earth to build the abutments and the berms. There's another pond off to our right, and there's another overpass. So to build up all of that roadway that's crossing over, to bring that grade up and get it over, it requires a tremendous amount of fill, of earth, to build all that up. And so what they did back when they constructed these highways is they approached landowners, which mostly were farmers, almost entirely were farmers, and they gave them a little proposition, and they said, hey, you know, it costs us money to bring in truckfuls of earth and materials to build up those abutments, and rather than doing that, we would be happy to bring our machinery in and dig a pond for you on your land. So if we can get all of that earth and fill that we need for our roadway abutments to bring the roads over the highway we're building, we're going to end up giving you a beautiful pond. What do you think? And some of the farmers said, no, I want tillable land, so go ask somebody else, I don't want it. And some of them said, well, hell, why not? I'd like a pond. So they got themselves a nice free pond. So as you're driving through the Midwest of the United States and you happen to notice these ponds on the sides of the highway, some of them small, some of them quite large, where they were able to take quite a bit of earth out of there. Almost none of those are naturally occurring. There are some, obviously, but very, very few of those that you see were formed naturally. Almost all of them were dug out by the road civil engineers, by the construction crews building these highways to build the road overpasses. So anyway, I always thought that was really cool, and never, like I said, never put two and two together, but when you hear it, you start paying attention and you go, oh, there's a pond, oh, there's an overpass. You know, it makes perfect sense. So I thought it was kind of cool. So anyway, these are the things I think about when I'm driving through rural America. Well, welcome to Terre Haute, Indiana. And speaking of fun facts, I just learned something on the Welcome to Terre Haute, Indiana sign. Did anybody know that this is the birthplace of the Coca-Cola contoured bottle? Yes, it was on their sign. Their claim to fame, apparently, is the Coca-Cola contoured bottle. All right, well, whatever. That obvious government building, I'm assuming Capitol of some sort, right in front of us. That's pretty cool looking. Wow. But just wanted to throw that other little piece of info out there. More news you could use. You're welcome. Well, isn't this lovely? Ha! The sky just got really dark and now it's pouring. Woohoo! We are heading up back north. We were in lovely Terre Haute, Indiana at a Clabber Girl distribution warehouse. So Clabber Girl baking powder or whatever the heck. So anyway, we're all loaded up with an entire semi-trailer full of this stuff. 41,000 pounds in the box. And we are now driving through torrential rain to get our butts back up to Romeoville where this is dropping off. And from there I'm going to head back over to our Plainfield terminal and grab a trailer that apparently has been brought by our local guys from Suncast in North Chicago, and it's been brought to our yard, and I'm going to grab that sucker and bring that out to the Menards DC in Holiday City, Ohio again. So all good with me. Lots of running, lots of miles. I love it when the local guys can do pickups or final deliveries, because that means that we over-the-roaders can just hook and go and not have to wait on customers, so that's nice. Anyway, just checking in. Yep, this is insane. Talk about a little downpour. Holy cow. It's like somebody's dumping a swimming pool on us. NEM, it's a twister. Oh my goodness. That was a heck of a downpour. We're having some fun today. Yee-haw!